Hey guys, it's Haley and welcome to another bookish video. I literally feel like a hippie today. Look at this like tie-dye moment with this little like flower. I just feel like a 70s queen. Anyways, today we are getting into my September wrap-up. Cannot believe that another month has flown by. I read 15 books this month, which I feel like is not a lot. I don't know why. I just feel like that's not enough. I think it's because over the summer and over quarantine, I was reading so much. And now I'm like back to my normal rate of reading and I'm like, wait, this isn't enough. I just need to love myself and accept myself. So let's get over it. 15 books. Let's first get into the stats about everything I read this month. So I read a total of 15 books. 14 of those were adult and 1 was YA. I read 6 books by male authors and 9 books by female authors. My overall rating for the books was a 4.3. Hello? I had 5 5-star books, 8 4-star books, and 2 3-star books. I mean, it was a good reading month. Even if I feel like I didn't read that much, I definitely read some good books and I can't wait to talk to you guys about them. I also had a really varied reading month. I read a lot of different genres. I had 1 nonfiction, 2 historical fiction, who is she? 6 thrillers, 1 sci-fi question mark, who is she yet again? 2 contemporaries and 3 romance. So as you can tell, large variety. I can't wait to get into this and tell you about all of these books. I love them all. But let's just start out with the 2 books that I liked the least this month. The first one is Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. I rated this a 3.5 and I didn't not like it at all. I think it's a really good book. If you don't know what this is about, a mixed race family. The mother is white and the father is Asian, specifically Chinese. Their daughter goes missing and they are experiencing a lot of trouble with the police bringing attention to the case. They're experiencing a lot of racism because this is set in the 70s and I mean, there's racism everywhere just because a book is set in the 70s. Like, a book could be set anywhere and experience racism, but it is a little bit more extreme, and I really enjoyed reading about a different experience. Obviously, I've been consuming a lot of anti-racist literature lately, as I think we all have, but getting a mixed race Asian experience, I feel like that is not something that's often written about. So this was really unique, and I really enjoyed learning about that and opening my eyes to like marrying someone that wasn't your same race was literally illegal in like the 50s. Because this book details the mother and father's relationship in the 50s and then their current family situation in the 70s. It does like the typical Celeste Ng where it goes into all of the siblings and their different struggles and then the parents and the family dynamics. So if you like a family drama set in the 70s, politics, police, all of those kind of issues, I think you would really like this. The reason why I rated it at 3.5 was because it was a little bit slow and it's a really short book. It was under 300 pages, so I feel like if it's that short, it should go like pretty fast, but I felt like some chapters just lagged and I felt myself wanting to read more of the mother's chapters and the missing daughters chapters than the other ones, because there are like a million different perspectives in this book as well. So yeah, that just made it feel a little bit muddled and a little bit slow, but overall I really liked it. Not a bad book by any means. Next up, I read The Kiss Quotient and also gave this one a 3.5. I really liked this. It's featured in a reading vlog and I think I described it in that vlog as like a Hallmark movie, like not realistic whatsoever, but you just can't stop watching it. It is bingeable, and go watch my vlog if you want my full thoughts on this book. Also in that vlog, I read All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover, and I gave this a 4-star. This is about a woman and her husband, and I really enjoyed reading about a romance that featured a married couple. I feel like that is very rare, but it goes back and forth between the day that they met and when they first started dating to 7 years into their marriage, when they're having a lot of problems, communication issues, dealing with infertility. And if you want my full thoughts, go watch the vlog. I will link it and put it in the cards. The last book that I read in that video is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I love this book. Originally in the vlog, I gave it 5 stars, but then after consideration, I did move it down to a 4.5 just because the more that I thought about it, the more the like conflict at the end was like making me mad, because all I ever want is for Chloe and Red to just be together forever and be happy. So it's like a very emotional and biased rating, but I'm not going to get into my full thoughts. If you want to hear them, again, go watch that reading vlog. It was so fun, and I feel like just reading the comments, a ton of you guys liked it. I also read The Passengers this month by John Mars, and I gave this a 4-star as well. This is a kind of Black Mirror-esque sci-fi thriller that talks about self-driving cars and if they were hackable. And then, so this big hacking happens. This big hack happens? I have no idea. The cars get hacked. A bunch of cars get hacked. And they're being live streamed, and then the people of the world have to vote to save the people in the cars, and the people that don't get voted for are about to be killed. It's like weird Black Mirror reality show, self-driving cars, futuristic, set in the UK. Absolutely loved this book. The end just was really weird and all over the place, and I feel like the last 50 pages could have been cut out and I would have enjoyed it more and probably given it a 5-star. But 4 stars, not bad at all. I just realized I had these hairs literally sticking up. Y'all didn't even tell me. So rude. Oh my god, y'all aren't real friends. Just kidding. You're not here. I'm speaking to my phone. Okay, good. I also gave 4 stars to Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. I rated a 4-star on Goodreads, but I think I'm gonna bump it up to a 4.5 just like in my mind, because I mean, I did a predicting twists and thrillers video with this book. I don't know how anyone could ever possibly predict this ending. It was wild. I still think about it at least once a week, and I think that's why I'm going to raise my rating to a 4.5, because it is really sticking in my brain. I don't think I will ever forget the plot of this book, especially the ending. It is wild. If you like thrillers at all, and this is another British thriller, then I highly recommend you pick this one up. It is insane. Also, 4 stars this month was The Good Girl by Mary Kubica. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a unique take on a thriller. Basically, what happens in this book is this girl right here gets kidnapped and held hostage from her family. Her family is very wealthy and prominent in Chicago. I also really like that this took place in Chicago, because I'm going to Chicago in the winter time to celebrate me and Cameron's anniversary, and I am so excited, and this is just like getting me in the spirit of like wanting to be in Chicago. But it was also terrifying. It explores themes of like Stockholm syndrome during the kidnapping, and it follows the perspective of the kidnapped girl, the kidnapper, the girl's mother who is at home looking for her, and the lead detective on the case. And I usually do not like detective point of views, but this detective, I think he was my favorite character. I really, really loved him, and I also loved the like main girl that we were following that got kidnapped. It is very weird. It is not what you would expect. There's family drama. Highly recommend this thriller. It was very, very good. Next up, I read Loveless, and I had this as an ebook. I read it for the Page Turner Book Club, and I was the guest at the live stream. So if you couldn't make it to hear our discussion, it is still recorded and up on Mare's channel, so I will link that down below, as well as just their Instagram page, because y'all should definitely join and read with us. The discussions are always so much fun, and it's like pretty much the same people that read every time, and we all just have a good time, especially in the discussions. They're so fun. And I rated Loveless a 4 out of 5 stars, and if you want to know my full in-depth thoughts and you want to hear me rant about Rooney, who is my favorite character and deserves the world, please go watch our discussion. It was so fun. Also, I didn't even tell you what this book is about. Loveless by Alice Oseman is about a girl who is going to university. She's trying to like have the ideal university experience, discover herself, but she's also struggling with her sexuality. She realized that she's never had a crush on anyone, and thinking about having sex with someone or even just kissing them disgusts her. So she's kind of trying to figure out a label, and it has amazing rep for asexual and aromantic. It also just has a really amazing voice. The narrator, Georgia, speaks like I speak, like I talk to my friends. So it was very quick and easy to get through, even though it was like over 400 pages. I flew through it because it was just so, like, the language was so digestible and relatable. So if you want to know more about the quilt bag community, oh my god, can we just talk about that? Did not know that was a term for LGBTQIA, but instead of saying LGBTQIA, you can say quilt bag. I don't know if that's like offensive or like people don't know about that. I don't know. It was used in the book and I thought it was so funny, and I love that. So if you want to learn more about the quilt bag community in a very digestible and heartwarming way, I highly suggest Loveless. Next up, I read the audiobook of When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. This is a weird thriller. It is about a woman who sees the community around her in New York becoming more and more gentrified, and she is getting freaked out by it because it's not like normal gentrification, which is already like bad, but it's like sinister, and there's something underlying what's happening, hence the thriller aspects. This book is also hilarious. The main protagonist that we're following is, I love her narration. She's so funny. Just the little comments that she'll make about people like in the bodega, or like stupid, ignorant people, just like in Whole Foods. She just drags them, and I thought it was so funny. And then, so we get her perspective, and then we also get a white man who just moved into this gentrified neighborhood's perspective, and they also strike up a little bit of a romance. And that is why I only rated this book 4 stars, because the romance was really taking me out of it, and I wish it would have been just a thriller. There were like some really smutty scenes that I was just not prepared for, and I didn't enjoy. So I don't know. I wish those scenes weren't in there, because I thought it was a really strong thriller, and the ending was really shocking. Crazy shit goes down for like the last 30 pages. I didn't see it coming at all. It was absolutely wild, and just makes me sad, because if that weird romance wasn't in there and Alyssa Cole just went all in on a thriller, I would have loved that. But I still think it's a really good book, and I highly recommend it if you like a romantic thriller. I know I get a lot of people asking me for thrillers with romance elements, and I always just recommend Verity. I don't think this was as good as Verity, but if you are looking for romantic thrillers, maybe you'd like this. And the last 4-star book I want to talk about that I read this month was the 3 Mrs. Rights. I got this as an ARC on NetGalley, and I don't even know how to describe this book. Like, it sucked me in from the first page. I mean, it's wild. So this book is basically about 3 women who are all in a relationship with one man, but they don't know about each other, and they don't even know, like, how do I explain this? This man is like a different he's living 3 lives, like 3 separate lives. Like he's a different man in each one of these lives with these women, and he's like juggling them, and there's like sinister things happening behind the scenes that you're trying to figure out. It's very suspenseful and thrilling. You're like wondering, oh my god, when's like the ball gonna drop? When's he gonna give himself away? He like will slip up and you'll be like, oh my god, they're all gonna find out about each other, and then he like recovers, and you never know when it's gonna happen, and it's like that edge of your seat, when are they gonna find out, when are they gonna find out feeling that I really loved. The only thing that I didn't like was the portrayal of some of the female characters was just very not great sometimes. I don't actually remember the author of this book. I'm pretty sure that they were a woman, though I don't think this was written by a man. But some of the female characters read like they were written by a man, if you know what I mean. They just didn't seem very in touch. I feel like I would have picked up on things that these stupid women didn't. So that's the reason why I gave it 4 stars instead of 5. But I thought it was really interesting and unique. And this is like, if you liked The Wives by Taryn Fisher, which nobody did, but if you like the concept of that and you want it done well, highly recommend this book. It was very good, very bingeable, kept me on the edge of my seat the whole time. So now we are going to get into my 5 final books, and I rated all of these 5 stars. So these are some new faves. So first up is The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. And this is about trauma and how we hold it in our body, and how you can effectively treat trauma through physiological interventions. And if you're not a therapist, you probably don't care about this, but I really care about it, and I think this is an amazing book and really centers in on the way that we hold trauma so deeply, and when we don't process it verbally, emotionally, psychologically, it manifests physically and like socially, and really deeply affects our lives. There's a lot of like personal anecdotes and like case studies in here. Again, I don't really think you would like this if you're not a therapist. So if you're a therapist or a psychologist or a counselor, I think you would really like this. If you're not, you can skip it, but I am those things, so I really like this. Okay, moving on. Next up, I read The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, and I was crushed into dust. If you don't know what this book is about, it is historical fiction that takes place in Nazi Germany. It follows a young girl who goes into foster care and builds a really strong relationship with her foster parents as things are basically just going to shit around them. It is heartbreaking. It is heartwarming. It gives you hope for like humanity, but then it gives you like reasons to hate humanity, and like all humans are fucking horrible, but then also like love exists, and it's narrated by Death. I mean, what could you not like about this book? It's an emotional roller coaster, and I have a reading vlog going up soon with all of my thoughts about this book and a couple other of these, and I really highly suggest you watch that because it's a fun one, it's a long one. Get your snacks and get ready for that one. The first book that I read in September was actually The Humans by Matt Haig, and this just kicked off my month in the most amazing way. I absolutely love this book. I gave it 5 stars automatically. Like halfway through, I already knew it was going to be 5 stars. It's basically about this alien who is sent to Earth, and he like takes on the form of a human so he can blend in, and he like gets entrenched in the human world, and he's just there to like do an alien mission and like find out things about humans and earthlings, but he ends up like learning about humans and like maybe getting attached to them, and it's very funny. It has a lot of social commentary, but it's also just emotional and real and heartwarming. And if you haven't read this, please go read this, please. I'm only gonna beg you to read 3 of these books, and it's this one and the next 2 that I'm about to talk about. I think anyone would love this book. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your reading tastes are. I don't like sci-fi, but I really liked this book. This, I don't even know if I should call it sci-fi. Is it contemporary? Is it humor? Is it, what is it? I don't know, but I absolutely could not recommend this book enough. I don't want to say too much about it because I don't think you should go in knowing a lot about it, other than it's an alien's experience on Earth. It's hilarious, it's heartwarming, please read it. Next up, a new favorite thriller of all time. I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid. I have a full 20-minute review of this book, so if you're interested in my thoughts, in my in-depth thoughts on this book and my thoughts and rating about the movie adaptation that just went up on Netflix, go watch that video. I will link it in the cards and in the description. I love this book so much and I really put a lot into that video, so please go watch my review. I love this book so much and I could talk about it for hours, but I'm not going to because I already have a full video on it. So go watch it and read this book. If you have not read this book, please read it. I know some people hate it and some people love it, and I definitely fall on the love side of this book. I would die for this book. This book is amazing, but I know some people don't like it, so it's controversial. I don't know. Read it just to see what side you fall on, but I hope you fall on my side, okay? Because this book is amazing. And lastly, I have my new favorite contemporary read of the entire year, 2020. So this is a big spoiler for my top 20 books of 2020 video that will be out at the end of December, early January. But I already know this one's taking the top spot for contemporary. No one can dethrone her. And that is Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. What do I say about this? What do I even say about this? This book is about people. More than anything, this book is simply about people and the way that we cope and the things that we go through and the weird things that we're insecure about, that we hold in, that we don't talk about, but that we all are maybe experiencing or know someone who's experiencing. It's hilarious. Again, I love the way Frederick Bachman's writing is so dry and funny and engaging, but also so real and genuine. Those are my favorite types of books, and I feel like the past few that I've been talking about are all really like that. I love a book that can make me laugh but also be real at the same time, and that is definitely this. Plot-wise, I think this book has an amazing concept. It's basically about a bank robbery that goes wrong, and the bank robber runs across the street from the bank into an apartment complex, and it just so happens that a door to an apartment is open because the leasing agent is giving prospective buyers a tour. So then the whole tour and the real estate agent get held hostage by this bank robber, and it's about their experience there, and it goes into detail and background of all of the hostages and the bank robber and the cops that are standing outside, and I just would give my life for all of these characters. I absolutely love them all. I cannot pick a favorite, and I just love them all. Absolutely love them. I could talk about this book for forever. You can tell if I really like a book because I start rambling about it. So I'm going to stop myself there and just let you guys know that these books are amazing. So please go read them. Those are all of the 15 books that I read this September of 2020. And I hope you guys liked learning about them. I hope you added some to your TBR. And thank you so much for just hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed hanging out with me, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.